Um, so it's about the new one would be $600, or the price went up $600?
Cheaper one.
Okay, so the least expensive computer
More
is about 600.
most expensive one is triple. Price is triple, but very cool.
Yeah,
The title is
yeah.
Monster, Sony Monster Bio. Cool.
Sony Monster Bio. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is kind of a cool name.
Very new.
All right. Uh, yeah, nice. I guess I haven't really looked at computers in a while, but yeah,
I can't
that
afford
sounds
to
cool.
buy
Julieta, what was that?
that. I can't afford to buy the Monster. So maybe
Yeah,
cheapest one.
yeah, yeah. I feel like even if I did buy something like that, I just wouldn't use all of its potential. It would probably be kind of a waste on me. But yeah, it'd be fun to have probably. Julieta, welcome to class. Julieta, how's it going?
Hi, it's going well, thank you.
Nice. Okay, good to hear.
What kind of a
And yeah,
computer?
yeah. Heidi was talking about she's looking at getting a new computer.
Hmm.
So Heidi, what was the name of the computer again?
I always buy Sony Bio.
Okay.
Yeah. Um. All right. And so Julieta,
Hmm.
anything exciting today?
No, nothing exciting.
Okay. So you went to class, right?
Yes, I went.
Okay. Nice.
Yes.
Okay. And did you learn anything new?
I think at the end I was ready to die, but now I'm still
Oh
alive.
no. Okay. Why is that?
Because it was 4 hours without breaks, and
Oh.
so yeah,
Yeah, that's a lot of time without breaks.
yeah.
All right. Wow. Man. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm glad to see you're still alive.
Thank
Amp,
you.
welcome to class. Amp, how's it going?
Hi, teacher. Thank you. I'm doing well, thank you. What about you?
Doing really well. Thanks for asking. And Amp, how was your day?
So far so good.
Nice. Okay, good to hear. What have you done? Oh, well, I guess what else are you gonna do? It's still pretty early where you are.
Yeah, yeah. Well, probably I am going to take more classes and practice a little bit. Yeah.
All right, nice. And we have Paul. Welcome to class. Paul, how are you?
Okay, hello, and I'm fine, thank you. I had one English class before, and I'm up to another one, so it's all great. Hello?
Nice. Good to have you.
Okay, yeah. Good to be there.
And good to be here, we would
Okay,
probably say.
yeah. Good to be here.
Yeah. And Abdullah, welcome to class. Abdullah, how are you?
Thank you. I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, thanks. And Abdullah, what about you? What did you do today?
Nothing. Just sleeping.
Okay. Okay, so not too much.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
And Rafa, welcome to class. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. Pretty well, thank you.
Nice. Good to hear. And yeah, like Rafa, what about you? What did you do today? What are you planning on doing for the rest of the day?
I am exhausted because I am having 3 or more classes of English at Berlin, and my mind is blowing up with so much English
Oh
that
man.
I need it. I am a kind of addictive person to practice my English. It's a new kind of
Nice.
addiction. I don't know if I
Probably a
approve.
healthy.
I enjoy a lot with your classes.
Cool. I'm glad you're enjoying them. And yeah, I think you've done a great job improving. Your English sounds pretty good.
Thank you.
And it's definitely a pretty healthy habit to get into, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right. And Julio, welcome to class. Julio, how's it going?
Hey, Yasha, everything is going well, thank you.
Nice. And Julio, do you have any plans for the rest of the day?
Well, not really. I'm actually recovering from an injury that I
Oh,
have. Actually, I have 5 broken ribs, and my shin bone it's also broken. So I've been in bed for about a month now, and
ooh.
today I got an orthopedic vest, and
Okay.
with this vest and with the help of this vest, I'm gonna be able to walk. So probably today I'm gonna give it a shot. But
Good
I'm
luck.
okay. I mean, other than that, I'm fine. I will
Other
be
than
fully
that.
recovered in 3 weeks or something like that.
Okay. That sounds really painful. Breaking your shin, I know, is really, really painful from experience, but yeah, having broken ribs. What, if you don't mind me asking, what happened?
Well, a bus ran over me. Yeah,
Ah,
actually, I'm thankful that I'm alive because the doctors told me that it could have been much, much worse. But all of
wow.
my innards, my internal organs, none of them was damaged. So
Wow.
thank God it was a miracle. And
Yeah.
now I'm here, and in a month or something, I will be able to return to my activities, and probably in a couple of months I will be full recovered. So everything is going great.
Okay. Well, that is good. I'm really sorry to hear that. That's awful. But glad to hear that you're doing a lot better.
Yeah,
Wow.
thank you, Joshua.
Yeah. No, for sure. And yeah, like I said, welcome to class. Natasha, welcome as well. Natasha, how are you doing?
Hello, Joshua. Hello, guys. I am fine, thank you. How are you today?
Doing really well. Thanks for asking. Um, okay, and Natasha, what's your picture of?
Oh, it's mountains and sky. I really like this picture because it's very nice for me. When I saw it first time, it was really uh, so great, and I suppose I take this picture for my profile.
Yeah, it is a really beautiful picture.
Thank
Um,
you.
okay, and who else do we have? We have another Abdullah. Uh, Abdulaziz. Abdulaziz, how's it going? Abdulaziz, can you hear me? Your microphone is muted. Hmm. Okay. Uh, Maybe not. So we can skip that. I think that's everybody. Let's get started. So we're going to be doing a little bit of reading. And let's start out with Abdullah. Can you read the question?
Alright, if you're and 100 feet and diameter, what hit the Smith HAV father?
Okay, Abdullah, I'm not really sure why. It sounds like maybe a connection problem. It might be mine or yours. Um, but I can't really hear you. Um, can anybody else hear him?
No, I had a big
Uh,
problem.
It's choppy.
yeah. Okay, so Abdullah, maybe we'll wait a second and come back to you. Amp, can you read the question?
Okay.
Question? Or just the
Yeah, can you read the question in blue?
envelope? Okay. If a meteor made out of diamond and 100 feet in diameter was traveling at the speed of light and hit the Earth, what would happen to it?
Good. And maybe diamond.
Diamond.
Yeah, diamond.
Diamond.
Yeah. Split and the other one would happen to it. Good. Okay. And Giulietta, can you read the next two paragraphs?
Nothing made of matter can go at the speed of light, but that's okay. We can get close enough. The other one? Oh, yes. No matter how fast you push something, it will never quite get up to light speed. This seems like it can't be right, but it is. Our universe has some weird rules, but the closer something gets to the speed of light, the more energy and momentum it has, and this energy and momentum go up without limit.
Nice. Okay, you did a really good job there. Momentum, energy. Yeah, a couple difficult words. Did a really good job on. Abdulaziz, welcome to class. Abdulaziz, can you hear me?
Yes, hi.
Hi. And how's it going?
Doing well, thank you so much. How are you?
Doing really well, thanks for asking. Abdulaziz, where are you from?
I am from Saudi Arabia.
Okay, nice. And am I pronouncing your name correctly?
You did, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Good to hear. All right, and let's have Heidi. Can you read this next part?
We'll start slow and work our way up. 1 kilometer per second. If we drop the meteor from the edge of space 100 kilometers up, it will punch through the atmosphere without slowing down too much and hit the ground, moving about Mach. How much? We call it Mach. It's okay.
That's a tricky one.
The speed of a sound.
Yeah, Mach. So it sounds
Mach.
like...
Maybe it's German. So we call it Mach, but Mach, okay. Mach 3, over a kilometer a second. As it falls, it compresses the air in front of it. When the air compressed, it heats it up. This is the same thing that heat up a spacecraft. I'm sorry, spacecraft and meteors. Actually, air friction had little to do with that. By the time it reaches the ground, the rover surface will have heated to over 500 degrees Celsius, which is enough to grow visibly.
Nice. Okay.
Can you make it a little bigger?
Yeah, I can.
It's okay.
Okay, so a couple of small things. 1 kilometer.
1 kilometer.
Yeah, good. Meteor. Meteor.
What place?
It's the... So I wrote the words in the chat box.
Okay,
Meteor. And it'll punch through the atmosphere. Can you repeat that whole part? It'll punch through the atmosphere?
What place?
It'll punch through the atmosphere.
It will punch through the atmosphere.
Nice. Okay. Good. And you did a good job with Mach again. Awesome.
Sorry. I can't. Could you explain what Mach 3 is? I don't know.
Yeah, I think
the speed of the same speed of sound.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, Mach 3 would be 3 times the speed of sound.
3 times faster than sound.
Yeah, exactly. Good. And who else? Oh, Anna, how's it going?
Hi, teacher. So far, so good. Thank you for asking.
Nice. Okay, good to hear. And yeah, sorry, 1 second. Just enough to glow visibly. And Julio, can you read this next part?
Sure. When it hits the ground, 2 minutes after it was released, it makes a crater 300 meters across, the size of a school, shattering into fragments in the process.
Okay. And can you read what the dinosaur is saying?
He's saying, uh, let me, for scale or something.
Yeah, so for scale or something. So this is the crater, and the dinosaur is for scale. Good.
Oh.
Also, yeah, Julio, keep going. Can you read this next part as well?
Sure. 11 kilometers per second. If we set the diamond in space a little ways away from the Earth and let it fall toward us, it will hit at about 11 kilometers per second. This is Earth's escape velocity, and anything that hits the Earth from space will, thanks to gravity, be going at least that fast.
Nice. Yeah, you did a really great job. Maybe just the enunciation, the intonation in that last sentence. So this is Earth's escape velocity, and anything that hits the Earth from space will, thanks to gravity, be going at least that fast.
All
Can you
right.
repeat that one more time?
Sure. This is Earth's escape velocity, and anything that hits Earth from space will, thanks to gravity, be going at least that fast.
Nice. Really well done. Okay. And Natasha, can you read this next part?
Yes. At 11 kilometers per second, the brief descent would be visible as a fireball. The energy of the impact would be comparable to a small atomic bomb, and the crater it would create would be a kilometer across, a little smaller than meteor crater in Arizona.
Nice. Good job. Kilometers. Kilometers.
Kilometers.
Yeah.
Yes, kilometers.
Kilometers. Yeah. And then fireball.
It's a fireball. Fireball.
Good. And energy.
Energy.
Nice. You did a good job with atomic bomb, meteor crater in Arizona. Nice. And can you read the comic, Natasha?
Yes, it's a crater and and people for scale and for Gondor.
Yeah.
I don't know who is what is for Gondor for scale. It's maybe about the diet of country. I don't know.
Okay. And so maybe if we get a little bit closer, we can see slightly better. What's the thing that says for scale?
For scale.
Can you see what the picture is of? Or can anybody?
Liberty Statue.
Yeah, it's the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
Okay. And what is this thing that says for Gondor? Does anybody know?
Mm.
Any ideas?
Someone from The Lord of the Rings, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a statue from the Lord of the Rings. So it's just kind of a small joke. Does that make a little bit of sense now, Natasha?
Yes. Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah, that's the size of the crater in comparison to the Statue of Liberty.
Okay. It's the diameter of crater like Gondor, yes?
No,
No.
not quite. So this is the Statue of Liberty, and so this is the size of the crater in comparison to the Statue of Liberty. So this is for scale. So when you say something's for scale, so it's like you get a real impression of the actual size of the thing. And for Gondor is just a reference to a science fiction story, The Lord of the Rings. Yeah, and it's just a statue there. And so they're both kind of for scale, so you kind of get an impression of the size.
Thank
It's
you.
pretty good. All right, and let's have Paul. Can you read this next part?
Okay, 72 kilometers per second. This is just about the fastest that anything can hit the Earth if it's orbiting the Sun. The Leonid meteor shower hits at this speed. Oddly, the speed that something is going doesn't really affect how deeply it digs into the ground. Isaac Newton came up with a very clever idea for estimating how deeply projectiles will go in their targets before stopping. It turns out that no matter how fast a projectile is going, if it hits something that's about the same density, it will only go about one body length in. Okay.
Good. Yeah. So projectile.
Projectile. Okay. Okay. Good. And it is like a flying object.
Yeah. Yeah. A projectile would just be a flying object. So anything that's flying through the air. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Really good job. And does anybody have any questions so far about what we've read? Because we've gone through quite a lot. Any questions? Okay. And so this is a diagram of about one body length in. All right. And let's have Rafa. Can you read this next part?
Yes. However, it will make quite a splash. The 72 kilometer per second diamond sphere blasts out a crater over 2 kilometers across with an energy release comparable to that of the biggest fusion bombs. Here's where things get weird. 3,000 kilometers per second equals 0.01
Yeah, I'm actually not even sure what that would be. 0.01 C. I don't know. A couple of small things. Velocity,
Sorry,
Giulietta?
the velocity of light.
Okay,
So
yeah,
it's
the speed of light.
0.01 speed of light.
Nice. Thanks. And Rafa, can you repeat sphere
sphere,
and crater
crater,
and fusion?
fission,
Yeah, it's like fusion.
fusion,
Yeah, so fusion bombs.
fusion bombs.
Okay, and okay, can you read that paragraph one more time?
However, it will make quite a splash. The 72 kilometer per second diamond sphere
Good.
blasts out a crater over 2 kilometers crater over 2 kilometers across with an energy release comparable to that of the biggest fusion bombs. Here's where things get weird.
Yeah. Okay. So again, quickly, comparable.
Comparable.
Comparable, and then fusion.
Fusion.
Good. Nice job, Rafa. Abdulaziz, can you read this next part?
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Yeah. This would be pretty bad. The thing that makes this a little unpredictable is the fact that the speed is the range of hundreds of kilometers per second the air began to undergo nuclear fusion. Google that paper title to find the full text. This combined with plain old plasma heating may manage to eat apart the diamond sphere completely before it reaches the ground.
Nice. Okay. Before it reaches the ground. Maybe the only small thing I saw was undergo.
Yeah, undergo.
Good. Okay. Yeah, I think that was really good. Any questions here?
Yeah, what does undergo in this context mean, please?
Okay, and does anybody think they can explain?
To undergo is I don't know, like when you undergo surgery, you start a procedure.
Yeah, so it's like to start something, or to undergo, like to pass through it.
To
So if you
be subject.
yeah, to be subject to, so it begins to be subject to nuclear fusion. Yeah, that's a really good one. Yeah, okay. And any other questions? Okay. Amp, can you read the next part?
Uh, but it doesn't do the ground much good. The sphere doesn't spread out enough to make a difference, and it still hits the ground in roughly one spot. The blast releases 1,000 times more energy than the largest nuclear weapon, devastating whatever region it came down over. It gouges out a massive crater, though not the biggest one Earth has ever seen.
Good. Okay. Yeah, you did a really good job. Uh, really good, like intonation between words and between sentences. Sounded great. A couple small things. Region.
Region.
Good. And then what was the other one? Massive.
Massive.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, really good job with devastating, nuclear, 1,000 and roughly. Those are all really tough words. You did a great job with that. And experience. Did you have a question about what that means, Abdulaziz?
No, I was saying that maybe undergo could be to experience.
Yeah, that would be a good synonym for it, for sure. Yeah, okay.
Thanks.
And so this is just a little comic of what it would look like. And Anna, can you read this next part?
Thank you. 0.99 C. This is where relativity kicks in. Oh my gosh, sorry. At these speeds, the bonds holding the sphere together are completely irrelevant. It is just a collection of carbon atoms moving so fast that Lorentz contractions flattens the whole thing into a pancake. Although we wouldn't be able to see that visually. The string particle physics simulation tool the string particle physics simulation tool can help you answer some questions about what happens when it hits.
Nice. Really good correction in the last sentence. You did a good job with that. Some really tough words too, like contraction, Lorentz. Yeah, sounded really good. Irrelevant too. You did a great job with that. So a couple of small things. These. And atoms. Pancake.
Pancake.
Yeah, pancake.
Pancake.
Yeah, there you go. Good job. And although. And what was the other one? Was there one more? Sorry, my browser's kind of freaking out. All right, yeah, I think that was good. Okay. Any questions here? Okay, and let's go on to Giulietta. Giulietta, can you read this next part?
The carbon atoms is the bulk carry about 70 GeV of energy each. They are actually moving too fast to fuse directly with the air. They just pass through it completely. The air molecules punch 3 meters into the face of the ball before coming to a rest inside it, and it arrives at the ground with a bunch more matter in it than it started with. It also expanded rapidly.
Okay, it's also expanding rapidly.
It also expanded rapidly.
Expanding.
Expanding.
Yeah. So it's also expanding rapidly.
It's also expanding rapidly.
Good. And it arrives at the ground with a bunch more matter. Sorry, my like I said, my browser's doing some weird things. I can't see it sometimes. So where are we? And it arrives at the ground with a bunch more matter in it than it started with. Can you repeat that one more time?
And it arrives at the ground with a bunch more matter in it than it started with.
Good. Okay. And really well done. Any questions here? Okay. And let's have Heidi. Can you read this next paragraph?
Mhm. When it hits the surface, it disintegrates completely, digging downward and outward, carving a cane-shaped path down through the bedrock. The impact depth equation no longer applies, since the atoms are literally passing through each other.
Good. Really good job at the end there. That was perfect. Disintegrates. Disintegrates.
Disintegrate.
Yeah. And then cone-shaped.
Cone-shaped.
Nice. Good. Cone-shaped.
Cone-shaped means like cone on the street or put ice cream.
Yeah, exactly. So the shape of that. So either a street cone or the cone of an ice cream. Yeah. Good. And, okay, so I'm really sorry. I've been complaining about my browser a lot. It's really doing some weird things. I'm going to close it and start it again, so I'll be right back. Really apologize for the interruption, but this is getting kind of difficult. So I'll be right back, and so bear with me, guys.
Sure.
Hey, guys. Not sure. Hopefully this is working. All right,
Yeah.
and I think Heidi just read, and we're going to be with Julieta now.
No, Julio.
Is that
Julio.
Julio? Okay, Julio, can you read the next part?
Sure. The energy cracks a hole in the crust and blows open a crater so big you can see the molten mantle. This delivers the energy of 50 dinosaur-killing chicks. What? Chicks. Chicxulub impacts?
Yeah, maybe.
And
I'm not sure how to how to pronounce it. It's I think indigenous in Mexico. So
well, I'm Mexican and I've never seen or heard that word. Anyway,
I'm not sure.
enough to cause a mass extinction, if not end life completely.
Yeah. Okay. And molten mantle. Molten mantle.
Molten mantle.
Yeah. Good. And other than that, you did a really good job.
Thanks.
And Natasha, can you read the next part?
Yes. I've always thought that one of the great things about physics is that you can add more digits to any number and see what happens, and nobody can stop you.
Good. Um, one of the great things about physics. Can you repeat one of the great things about physics?
Physics?
Sorry. So just this whole part. One of the great things about physics.
hmm One of the great things about physics.
Good. Nice job. And let's go to this next part. Paul, can you read this next part for us?
Okay, 0.9999999C. At this speed, every carbon molecule carries 25 TeV of energy, comparable to particles in the beam of the Large Hadron Collider. A little faster and we might spot Higgs bosons in the impact debris. As it stands, the whole thing hits the planet with about the kinetic energy of the orbiting moon. It's enough to punch a gaping hole in the mantle and shake up the surface across the whole planet, turning it molten. This probably ends all life on and around Earth.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. Yeah, you did a really good job. Yeah, nice rhythm in your sentences. Sounded good. Ken, welcome to class. Ken, how's it going?
Yes, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Thanks for asking. Rafa, can you read this next part?
Oops. Got stepped on my keyboard again, and I added a bunch more nines. Oh, 99951C. The fastest object with mass in recorded history might be the oh my god particle, no relation with the God particle, a proton from space that plowed into the atmosphere over Utah in 1991. It was moving at 99.9 period 51% of the speed of light, which means it packed the kinetic energy of a baseball in a single proton. The cascade of particles it blasted apart Dalford anything the LHC could produce.
Yeah, the LHC, the Large Hadron Collider.
Large.
Yeah. So yeah, that's not super important, but good. Maybe dwarfed.
Dwarfed.
Yeah. So it's a D with a it's war with a D in front of it. Dwarfed. Or maybe you could say it like dwarfed. Yeah, dwarfed. That sounded good. Nice job. Kinetic. Meant. Cloud. Proton.
proton, stepped,
and oops.
oops, with oops.
Those are up a little bit above. So oops, my cat stepped on my keyboard again. Okay, good. And does anybody have? Welcome to class, Sajad. How's it? Sorry, Sajad, can you hear
Yes,
me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, for sure. How's it going,
Everything
Sajad?
is going good. How about you?
Doing really well. Thanks for asking. And welcome to class.
Thank you so much.
And Abdulaziz. Yeah, no problem. Abdulaziz, can you read this next part?
Yeah, definitely. Nobody knows how it got to be moving so fast. Particles moving that fast hit the Earth a handful of times a year. They seem to come from the general direction of exploding galaxies, but what happened to two?
Just 1, 2. That's a typo.
Okay, but what happened to make them leave in such a hurry, and why they haven't slowed down more before they got here, is something of a mystery. Let's get. Oh, okay, that's it,
Yeah.
or
Yeah, stop there. So, can you repeat? Nobody knows how it got to be moving so fast.
yeah, definitely. Nobody knows how it got to be moving so fast.
Yeah. So nobody knows how it got to be. So got to be is kind of all slurred together in a bunch almost. So we don't really enunciate those words. So nobody knows how it got to be moving so fast.
Okay, nobody knows how it got be. No, nobody
Got
knows
to be.
how it got to be moving so fast.
Yeah, got to be.
What if
How it
I
got to
say gotta be, or it doesn't work?
Not quite. How it got to be. How it got to be moving so fast. It's a little bit different. So we do have like differentiate between those words. Nobody knows how it got to be moving so fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Okay, thank you.
But good. Other than that, you did a really good job. Nice job with general. That silent E. Yeah. Really nicely done. And Ken, can you read this next part?
Okay, let's give Adrian's diamond meteor the speed of the oh my god particle. These speeds are so high that my copy of Threemore's RIM flatly refuses to simulate them. However, we can get some idea from looking at how cosmic rays cascade through rock.
Good. Okay, and that sounded great. Maybe meteor.
Meteor.
Aidens.
What? Aiden. Aidens. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a name. So Aiden.
Right. What is SRIM and cascade?
Okay. Does anybody know what cascade means?
It's like a waterfall.
Yeah. So it is like a waterfall.
Okay.
And what's the other one? Come on. Okay, so this is what SRIM is. So it's a physics to simulation tool. Does that kind of make sense, Ken? A particle physics simulation tool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And yeah, cascade is just like fall through. We talk about waterfalls cascade down the rocks. But yeah. Okay. And Amp, can you read this next part?
The time.
Sorry. There it is.
Okay. The diamond sweeps out a column of atmosphere without seeming to notice and disappears into the crust. A cloud of expanding plasma and radiation grows around the entry point as the energy ripples outward through the body of the planet. 40 milliseconds later, the entire far side fans outward in an incandescent cloud.
Yeah, incandescent. Incandescent. One more time, incandescent.
Incandescent.
Nice. Radiation.
Radiation.
Yeah. And atmosphere.
Atmosphere.
Good. Yeah, you did a really good job though. With the words again, good reading. Okay, and why don't you read the next one as well, Amp?
Okay. The diamond meteor and the cascade of particles it created as it collided with the crust. It is spread out through the body of our planet. The superheated planet glows brighter than the sun.
Good. Throughout. Throughout. Yeah, good. And Giulietta, can you read the next two?
The momentum would be enough to knock the Earth into a different orbit, but the Earth is no more. The energy deposited is 10,000 times greater than the planet's gravitational binding energy, and the planet is blown into an expanding cloud of plasma with a particularly energetic streamer extending away from the far side of the impact side out into space.
Yeah, a particularly energetic streamer. Particularly
energetic streamer.
Yeah, particularly energetic streamer. Good.
Streamer.
Extending away from the far side of the impact site out into space. Okay, yeah. Sounded good. You did a really good job. A lot of difficult words. Again, it's been a little while since I've asked, but does anybody have any questions so far on what we're reading?
What does binding energy mean?
Okay, binding. And does anybody know what binding energy is?
Stick together.
So the binding energy is the energy that keeps something together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe holds the nuclear together, or.
Yeah, that'll hold the nucleus together too. Would be the binding energy in like an atom. Yeah, but binding energy is just any energy that holds something together that binds. So to bind is to hold something together. Yeah. We're talking about gravitational binding energy, so like the gravity that holds the Earth together. But good. And any other questions? Okay. And let's have Julio. Can you read the next part?
The sun hiccups and flares as it absorbs waves of dust. The surface of Mars and Venus are scored clean by the waves of incredibly high energy plasma. Oh my god, that's what the dog said. It's a dog or?
That's some sort of alien, I think. Yeah. And the next part?
And in the distant future, an alien astronomer on a world hundreds of light years from Earth frowns at a beeping detector and wonders what violent event would make a particle move so fast.
Good. Exactly. So this is kind of a joke about the oh my god particle. So we're still not really sure what would make a particle move that fast, but this event probably would. Yeah, you did a really good job. Nice job with astronomer, light years, detector. Scored. Yeah, I think you said scored, right?
Scored?
Yeah, scored clean. Yeah. Okay, I think you did a great job. And does anybody have any questions or comments here?
Yes, what does scored mean?
Okay, and does anybody know?
No, I was gonna ask the same.
Okay. And so it's like cleaned by scrubbing, so like intensely scrubbed till you'd like score a pot or pan that's covered in grease. But yeah, so the dictionary definition is to clean or brighten the surface of something by rubbing it hard, typically with an abrasive or detergent. Yeah, so it's like heavily cleaning something. Yeah. Eroded is somewhat similar. Eroded is a little bit less intense. So scored clean is pretty intense. Any other questions? Okay. And let's kind of practice with these questions. We could go to the most recent one, which is pretty good as well. And I think it's shorter. We've got about 10 minutes, so I'm not sure how much we can get into it, but it should be all right. So let's have Natasha. Can you read the question?
Yes, okay. So you are fallen from a height above the tallest building in your town, and you don't have a parachute. But wait, partway down the side of that skyscraper there is a flagpole sticking out. Sand flag. You angle your descent and grab the pole just long enough to swing around so that when you let go you're now heading back up towards the sky. As gravity slows you and brings you to a halt, you reach the top of the skyscraper, where you reach out and pull yourself to safety. What's the likelihood this could happen?
Okay, good. So pretty an absurd premise. Let's look at height. Can you repeat height?
High,
Tallest.
tallest,
Sticking.
sticking,
Likelihood.
likelihood,
Good.
head.
Okay. And does anybody have any questions about what this is asking?
I don't know.
Okay, so we're good here. Paul, can you read these first two paragraphs?
Okay, if you're like me, your first thought on hearing this question was, that's ridiculous, there's no way that could work. Your first thought is right, but just to be sure, let's take a closer look.
Good. Yeah, perfect. That was really well done. Rafa, can you read this next part?
Yes. Your first thought is right, but just, grip strength depends on a lot of factors, like hand slickness and surface material. But for the moment, let's assume Brett's hands are able to grab the pole tightly. What happened to the rest of his body?
And can you read the comic?
Is it to be too late to change my mind?
Good. Yeah, tightly. Can you repeat tightly?
Tightly.
Tightly. Good. And then surface. Surface.
Surface.
Surface material.
Surface material.
Nice. Okay. And well done. Let's read the next part. Abdulaziz.
Yeah. Okay. It's hard to find good numbers on how much force it takes to tear off a person's arm. There are threads on the question on metafilter and the strength strike and the strike drop message boards and frequent decision or discussion of the death of reports branches. I mean, can you zoom in, please? I could not read very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's better. But not too much hard data.
Okay, and does anybody speak French decently? Does anybody have a good French accent?
No.
Okay,
Robert François Damien.
nice. Well done. Thanks. Yeah, so does anybody know who he was?
No.
Okay, so he tried to assassinate Louis the Fifth, maybe? He tried to assassinate one of the Louis, and he was drawn and quartered.
The king? Really?
Yes. He tried to assassinate the King of France, and yeah, so he was caught, and they drew and quartered him. So, which is when you like tie ropes to your arms and legs, and horses take them off for you. Yeah, and does any? Oh, well, let's look at some pronunciation. Where are we? Tear. Can you repeat tear, Abdulaziz?
Yeah, tear.
Threads.
Threads.
And frequent.
Frequent.
Good. So threads and tear and frequent discussion. Okay. And any questions here? Okay. And Ken, can you read this next part?
For the record, there are lots of studies and lectures on the breaking strength of tendons, which tend to give values around 50 to 150 MPa. I don't know. Meter per hour. Sorry, that's stronger than skin, 27 MPa, but weaker than bone, 120 MPa. However, to figure out the overall strength of the arm, we need to tally up all the tendons, muscles, and tissues in the wrist, arms, and shoulder, their cross-sectional area, and figure out of which parts would be put under strain in what order. Instead, it might be easier to consider people who try to pull off this maneuver in real life. Gymnasts. Good. I think MPa is like megapascal, which is just a unit of measure. Good job with maneuver. Really nice pronunciation there. I think their cross-sectional area and figure out which parts would be put under strain in what order. Yeah, just like because this sentence has so much in it, I think the enunciation kind of was thrown off a little bit, but for the most part, you did a really good job. We are out of time. I've got another class right after this. If you'd like to join, I'd love to have you. Thanks for coming in. Julio, hopefully you feel better soon. Really sorry to hear about your accident, but glad to hear you're all right. And
thanks, Joshua.
For sure. And thanks again for coming in. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you guys soon.